Whenever you pray, just pray for Niger. We are the people of destiny and prophecy.
Alright, yes, we know that we truly won Nigeria, and as we join the whole world to celebrate International Day of Democracy, which is celebrated on the 15th of September every year. It was actually established at the IPU's request through a resolution passed by the United Nations General Assembly in 2007. And this day is actually an opportunity to review the state of democracy and parliaments around the world. And also as a reminder of what democracy signifies, the IPU has collated all sorts of quotes on democracy. And I will just be taking a leaf from Abraham Lincoln's words, saying that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And of course, democracy can also be said to be a form of government where everyone counts. In applying democracy, everyone counts. And of course, there will be no true democracy until every responsible and law-abiding adult is in it, without regards to the race, without regards to the sex, without regards to the color or creed of such a person. And of course, in view of celebrating International Day of Democracy today, we want to talk about democracy in Nigeria. How has democracy fared, or how is democracy faring in the country? Let us even see if this concept of democracy is in line with our African culture. And of course, we would also get to leave the lines open shortly, but that is after we've had one or two discussions on democracy this morning. And the very first person right here with me in the studio is Ambassador Habib White. He's a legal practitioner. He's also a United Nations Award winner. He's an author, advocate of change and good governance, and also a worthy fellow of the Royal Court of Ife and the ECOWAS Youth Council. Good morning, Ambassador Habib White.
Good morning.
And we have Mr. Adeyemi Akintunde, a fellow of the 4th Estate Professional Society, Sigma Delta USA veteran journalist, and also Area Mate 2 National Association of Seadog. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so let us start with the theme of last year's International Democracy Day, which is empowering the next generation. The choice of themes are also made from SDGs. And now, there is actually a dichotomy that Nigeria also has its Democrat Day with renewed hope as a theme. What do you have to say about this, sir?
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians, and I wish you a happy Democracy Day. Yes, democracy, as you said, is a type of government that is participatory. It's a participatory type of government, because by storytelling, it started in Greek, the form where everybody will gather around, at a place, and at the time when representatives will come, at a point, the people are coming to make decisions, they get enlarged, and they have to reduce their number and make some people to come and represent. That is the stage that we are now, which is not the kind of government that most African countries and cultures are used to. Like here in Yoruba land and in other lands here in Africa, in Nigeria, the monarchical system of government, that was what we used to run.
Yes.
And that monarchical system of government, it's a kind of natural leadership. A natural leadership is that you are born to rule, from a particular house. Then you become a king. Those who have the royal blood, in their system. Those are the people that are chosen to lead. And it's a kind of dictatorship participatory system. For example, in Yoruba, you have the Oyomesi who can check and balance. All those things you have in democracy, also. So democracy as a culture is about freedom. It is about human rights. And like I said, participation. these rights that we're talking about, they're fundamental to human life. You are born free, but there are regulations that control you. And those regulations that are control you, under a kind of government, it is expected that your right is guaranteed. The right to live, the right to have education, the right to justice, the right to freedom of speech. You know, all those ones are expected to be guaranteed. So these are the kind of things that will empower a generation that will sustain that kind of system of government. But if you take a look at it, since we embark on this, the last journey since 1999, we have a mixture of experiences regarding development of democracy in the country. So as we move on, we'll begin to analyze specifically why we are trying to celebrate this occasion is to advocate participation, to ensure that people rise up and give a voice to democracy. Because now it is the most fashionable form of government that you can find, for the human race, because it guarantees you expression. Yes, it has its challenges, which we will x-ray as we go forward to. So our purpose here is to call attention of the population, especially the youths, to ensure that they participate in this democracy, defend it also.
All right, thank you so much. So, Ambassador Abib White, how do you think democracy has fared, or how do you think democracy is faring in our country from 1999 till date?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. You would agree with me that as a country, we are still developing. So I will not say that we have gotten the best form in the real practice of democracy. Because if you look at the principles that makes a state to be a democratic one, is the fact that there must be one, participation of persons in political affairs. Because when you participate in political affairs, it shows that you are into governance. Now you can demand for your right and everything. And two is, we have a constitution that guides us as a nation. It means that we are ruled under a law. So if you contravene the law will be against you. And also there should be equality for everyone. In our own system, we cannot say there is equality in totality, because our system is a class society where we have the high and the low and the medium people. So it is all about participatory contribution in everything that has to do with governance. But however, as a country, we are trying, we are growing. I would not condemn my country. I'm a Nigerian. I will not join the bandwagon of youth that will condemn the country. Yes, we are not getting it right, but we will get it right. If you agree with me that Nigeria as a country is one of the best countries with the best laws in the world, I'm a lawyer, I can say that for a fact. But however, we do not test these laws. How would the law operate? How would the law favor you in one way or the other? Most of Nigerians are ignorant about even their rights, about laws that are in existence. And democracy really thrives on laws that are being tested. Look at our last election. Look at the participation of that election. It is unprecedented. We never had it like that since democratic rule in Nigeria, where we have 3 candidates having to win 12 states each. It is unprecedented. It shows that people are awake. Everybody wants to be involved. And now when you're not getting involved, what is your mindset? Are you getting involved for the benefit of this country? Or you are getting involved because of your ethnic or tribalism or sentiment or bias? So that is that we should look at. We are growing as a nation. We are growing. Our periodic election, it has come out fine in the last election. It was not easy for any one of them. It was never easy. Even the person that emerged best knows that it was not an easy game. It was not an easy game. And you know the brawl that happened in the election, the youth and the involvement. I know this drive came from when the youth demanded for a not too young to run bill that was passed into law. That has reduced the age of persons that can be into government places the House of Assembly, National Assembly, for the governors and the president. That law has empowered, has brought in more people, irrespective of their age, to the doorstep. Now, how do we encourage people to go into politics? Because it is a money issue. Our own democracy is based on money. It is, and that's the only problem I think that we have as a country. We should not make our party system, our political system based on money, because it is not everybody that has the money.
So how do you think we can actually solve this issue? Because I'm sure we have a whole lot of young people that really want to run, but the cost of even getting a ticket alone is what is driving them back. And we know that politics cannot thrive without you having money and then investing the money in credible sources. So how do you think we can solve this issue?
Let me give an analysis of how Nigerian youth behave, our mentality. If you look at your environment, for instance, on a Saturday morning, on a Sunday morning, you see young men, they play football. Some even do boxing in the streets. You see a lot of people. Why they are playing that ball? If that ball gets damage at that point, unconsciously, you start saying, okay, I have 10 naira, I have 20 naira, I have 10. Before you know it, you gather money and buy a new ball, and the game will begin. That is the way we can help ourselves as youths in governance. Let us encourage ourselves. Those of us that know that this person has this God, this person can do this. Let's support ourselves. Let us infiltrate these political parties. How many youths are in the APC, for instance? How many youths are effective in the Labour Party? How many youths are doing what is going to be done in PDP? How many youths? So when we infiltrate the party, we can take over the party system from these other ones. Politics is about numbers, and we are the numbers. It is so disheartening that we are not getting it right here as youth. It's so disheartening. And if you look at the way we have been encouraged, even in Southwest Nigeria, for example, we are trying. Just 2 days ago, Governor Sanwo-Olu gave us a youth as a commissioner for youth in Lagos State, 29 years old. Just this morning, I read that Miss Wasilat in Lagos State has been made a commissioner for youth, and I know she's not up to 30. That is what we are talking about. We need our elderly ones and leadership to involve the youth in real governance. To not make youth essays that will not function. To not make them assistants that will not be able to give you a piece of advice. Let us function. Maximize our potentials. We are still young. The brain is still fresh. We have these ideas. Maximize it. Put us to the table. Make us work. Make us responsible for ourselves. Because leadership, by the way we know it, is going around. Death is inevitable. These people will go. It will come to the youth. How will they operate when you are gone? When you have not involved them in the real business of leadership itself. So that's where I think we can fare in. Let us help ourselves, come together. If you trade the parties, support your friends. It's not about hatred. It's not about it's doing well more than me. No, it's not about that. It's about Nigeria. No. It is about Nigeria.
Even at that, the challenge, the challenge is there. So when I was in my opening remarks, I noted that the democratic experience has been mixed, with feelings. Like you said, we used to say nascent democracy. I think it's a long time last out of that. We can no longer say it's nascent any longer. So, and we have seen certain growths. We have seen the evolution of our electoral laws. We have seen, some changes, attempts to ensure that certain incursions from executive recklessness within the concept of separation of powers, are being controlled, even from the center. But we must know when we are talking about empowering the youth, in this as a team, the challenge there is that hunger has been weaponized in the country. And you can see that when the youth, a kind of youth that have suffered so much, and they now give you essay. What are they? The political actors, the leaders, it will be presented to the public as if, they wanted to tap the fresh intellectual capacity of that youth. But by the time the youths get into power, you discover that what they are rendered to be, they are just ordinary loyalists, and cronies who will have to defend the governor or the president or the chairman of local government at any time when there's need to do that. And most of the time the defenses are even against their personal philosophy, against their wish to be in government, but they will say, because I have to do that. We have had experiences very, 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 very well. A particular experience was at the time a particular governor in this state, had a young man in his cabinet who was a very brilliant journalist, and that person said, no, I won't take that. So it was a kind of a fiscus between the two of them, because I don't want to mention them, particularly in this the radio station that I'm talking from now, because that and there was an exchange. But this particular young man, he bowed out of that administration. But how many can do that now? Because you will have to defend what is not defendable. Okay. It is because, look, the families of pensioners, the families of civil servants, these youths, they come from those families. The fathers, the mothers whose salaries are not paid for months, of parents who are even saving for the future of their children through what you call contributory something for cooperative, and they are not paid. So what kind of youths are you going to get from such homes? Hungry youths. So the kind of youth that we have, they look onto the political actors. You know that we now have what we call democracy economy. The democracy economy is making money from democracy. There's so many aspects of it, and people see it that if you go into politics, you can make money. How do you make money? It's by not telling the truth, and it thrives only on the truth. So the youths should know that if they have the opportunity, like its recommendation, they come around. Of course, the instruments of law, put in place now, has encouraged them, to participate in government. But they should remember that the future belongs to them. So if they are brought into government today, it is not to go there and defend the non-defendable attitude of a particular governor or a chairman of local government or president, but to go and serve their public, to go and build a future for themselves. Because, like he said, they will not go, and by the time they leave, by death or by age or whatever, it will be their turn, and it is whatever the foundation that is laid that they are going to live upon thereafter.
All right.
Another thing I want to say,
okay,
so to put what he has said is that if you look at our political terrain, most of our political leaders are always engaging youth that they know that they will not be able to stand up to them. Look at most of these essays, PAs, SSA and everything. They do not have a job that they are doing. Go and look at it. Most of them do not have jobs that they are doing. They are not professionals, they are not this, they are not that. But because they have helped the party, they are both running the party, I've seen them galvanize people together, is a type of compensation. And I'm not saying you should not compensate, but make it an all-rounder thing. If you have an essay to a governor today, there's a youth that have served for 4 years. In the next 4 years, do not return that person again. He has learned.
Get another person.
Get another person. That's way to go around. People will learn. He has learned something. Let him go and use what he has learned for the 4 years to build sites with other people. But when they don't have any job, they will strive so hard to tell the lies, to protect their principles because they want to get another 4 years. It's happening everywhere.
No, it's promotionary. It's promotionary. When you join politics and you join as an SA, okay, the next step is that, okay, maybe you go and contest to be assembly member, and from assembly, you know, that is it's now a career.
Like
you understand? So, and you know, you grow like that, you become a senator, or if there is no possibility of becoming a governor, you know, then after being a senator, you will come back. You will have now got a lot of resources that you can use to do the contest.
Okay, thank you so much. And as we still celebrate International Democracy Day, let's not forget that this program is sponsored by the National Association of Seadogs, also known as Pirates Confraternity. All right, so let's talk about the concepts on ground together with our African culture. How can we merge both together?
I've always said told people, you know, that was my opening point. There's a friction, you know, between democracy and monarchy, which is Baba Kekbe. Democracy does not, it doesn't say don't respect, but it gives right of voice to everybody. Okay, and that right of voice to everybody is where the friction is, because that is the concept of the African and our own monarchical system here in Africa mostly. Okay, there are certain things, there are certain rules in democracy that they call nepotism, for example. Nepotism is a crime for the nuclear family. I mean, the nuclear community. Nepotism is not a crime for the communal community. I mean, the Africanism, where you see somebody can beat another person's child, you know, for committing an infraction around, you know, the house, and we will go and report, and the parents will come to thank the person who spanked the child. You know, you dare not do that in the nuclear system, you know, of a nuclear social system. You cannot do it. That's in that system of Africa. They will contribute money in the village and send an Abib to school, and you will be hearing them, community, you know, it's community money, so they will be struggling to go to school. By the time you leave school and you now go and you are appointed, in fact, to get job, they will call their sons and daughters who are in places, you know, that Abib has finished school, get a job for him. So Abib will get a job. So by the time Abib gets a job, it's expected to come and pay back the community. In fact, they will hold a reception, and they will lay on his table the needs of the community, or the various children that are there, you know. Then, after that, if Abib is appointed into an office, it is expected that he pays back to the community.
Yes.
That is what the Englishman call nepotism. Because by the time he begins to choose somebody from his community, you remember what Erifai said before the panel that probed him over sales of land in Abuja, and he said, your sister, you sold this land to your sister. This man is your sister. This man is this one. I mean, this one is your friend. So you know what he said? He said, are they Nigerians? He said, yes. Did they pay what the government said they should pay? He said, yes. He said, okay. When you become the minister, go and sell the land to your enemies. Okay? That is the reaction you will have from an African man.
All right.
But in democracy, you know, coming from the western region, if you do that, you resign or you go to jail. Because it is a crime. These are where the frictions are. And when you see them, they roll up. Look at the way they behave. On social media, you will hear them. They celebrate when a president is walking on the street. They celebrate when somebody who is in position of authority is mixing with people. But here, just like the traditional ruler, you know, it combines judiciary and executive power together. And you don't see a judge mixing with people in social place. So you cannot see traditional ruler. That is if you observe our governors, our House of Assembly, lawmakers, that is the way they behave.
Right.
You understand? So you will see them, they don't mix up, because that blood, I mean, that way of life of a monarch is born with us. So you can see them, and you hearing people will be complaining that he has wind up his grass. So now, during the election, they were running after us. Now we don't see them again.
Okay,
because you have just crowned a king. You should know. Now you are the subject. But that is not democracy. Democracy gives egalitarianism and equal rights, equal voice.
All right, so Barrister Bid, what you said that a whole lot of the youth are actually ignorant of the different laws that we have. So do you think this is as a result of the fact that history was removed from our secondary education curriculum?
It is very, very unfortunate that history has been removed from our curriculum. Very, very unfortunate. And I know that history will never be kind to those that have made that deliberate effort. Because before now, while we were in secondary schools, we had so many stories about Nigeria. Most of us don't even know these people. Yeah. But from what we've read, what we taught in class, we even have examinations on it. You write history, you write, even in JAM, you do everything. But right now, you do not have it again. I just feel I want to appeal to the authorities that history should be brought back to our curriculum. Because even in our university system, at a point, it is usually history as a course. But that is now history and international relations. It's even now double honors to show you how important that aspect is. From this basic primary school, you have all the civic civic duties, civic classes is part of history. But right now, who are those that are writing our history? Are we having the historians alive again? Or those ones, are they tired to write those stories for us? Because if they will come, when we are up, our children will ask us, Daddy, what happened? Who is this person? Do you know this person? What has he done? And at times it's the story that you give that will make them believe you. And that's why I tell all our top people, shy people like I tell them, please write a book. You know more than us. Give us your own history, what you feel, how Nigeria has evolved around. Give us a biography of the country. Even when you write, we can read. And look, at a point, this man behaved like this person behaved like this. So I think history is very, very important because all nations are founded on one story or the other.
All right. So being an advocate,
I just wanted to remind you that thank God history has been returned now, but I must state that it was one of the missiles thrown at democracy. It was deliberate. It was deliberately removed to ensure that they block the youth from understanding certain aspects of the life of our political life and our social life. And you see, the danger there is that there's a gulf now, in the understanding of this country by the youth who owns tomorrow. Because that particular period of the absence of the study of history is creating crisis for the youth now. I understand they could not recognize even personalities, people who have committed their life into the growth of this country, and people who have committed high sins against the growth of this country. People who stole money. There's no record of it. Now they are celebrating, many of them. On anywhere they see them now, they say, oh, the kind of people that have been sent to jail, this kind of governors that have been held to jail, there's no record. But today the youths are just saying, hey, baba, baba, to them, because there's no record that they have. And those people that I'm talking about, look at their age now, from 1999, to this period. They are in their 30s. So, and what happened about 20 years ago, they don't know it. So those people now appear like good men to them.
Right. Okay, so let's quickly leave the lines open and see if we can pick just a call or two. And the numbers is 08107860000 or 07011327096. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Sir.
Good morning.
So today is Friday, it's open day for we the caller. We surprised to see that he brings somebody for interview. So to shut our tongue.
All right, we already said that we'll be having the parliament for just a session today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Olishola Johnson.
Thank you for calling.
Yes. On history, we will reflect back very well. That some of you may not know. It was Jibril Aminu who said because the West was always talking of the North was saying they were not ready for independence. That was why he tried to hold education in the West for the Northerners also to meet up. Systematically, he wiped out history out of education in Nigeria. Most of the things, but I'm not still doing now. The youth now hold the bull by its horn and always be very careful taking the wrongful advice from the elder people they see as their mentor.
All right.
They should use their initiative and do whatever they want. Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I'm about to tell you everybody.
Thank you for calling.
Stop for now. I tell you something. So told her that Seadog sponsor this program, not so?
Yes.
You have denied us of open day.
All right. That is not how it is today. Hello, good morning. Just
Hello,
one
good
more
morning.
call. Yes, and then we'll wrap up. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Asaka.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to our gentlemen that are in the studio. I've been listening to you with rapt attention, and I'm highly impressed with your analysis. However, don't you think it is what we sow that we are reaping? What do I mean? Our set, who are in our 60s and 70s now, cancelled history in Nigeria. And that is why these children will not have access to the biography of successful people, the biography of bad people, so they're going to know the bad from the good. They're going to know what is meant by being good. What they could see is the corrupt system that they found with some of us. The way they spend money, the governors, the way they spend money, the president, the way they lavish money and borrow money without thinking of how to pay it. And that is why they're not going to Yahoo if they can't join politics. Don't you think so?
All right.
Now, having said that,
Okay.
don't you also think that the labor forces in Nigeria contributed to what we are going through now? Think of that to let people know that hard work pays. What they are doing is strike, strike, strike. Don't you think so? I want your response.
All right. Thank you. So who would want to
Okay.
actually yes?
Labor. You know, I mentioned earlier that one of the weapons, that against democracy is hunger. You know, they want to render you voiceless because the Africanism, that monarchical system, that Kabiosi, then nobody should ask me once they get to position. So deliberately they make people to be hungry. Just imagine how can there be a service, a civil service that is not paid and is even contributing some money somewhere, and the money is cornered and it's not released. That is, of course, nobody can explain that to anybody. In Ogun State, for example, year in, year out, governors have come promising them that we will release our money, your money, we will not do that. But they continue the same way. I had a report this morning from Rock City that some pensioners, some people have not been paid for 3 months. They are lecturers. But you can understand. So you create a mad labor. So labor itself is confused now, to the extent that labor does not even know what to fight for. Because when hunger and when depression sets in for you, for your system as a labor, look at it. I saw something, the main thing, what the labor pushed forward for the last strike. And what they put there was that, and which I took as their main focus, because it was number one, that they should vacate the premises of NURTW. That policemen should vacate the premises of NURTW. Look at that. How do you score that? Which kind of labor are you talking about? Then you can know that there is an intellectual problem. Somebody who is hungry. How will his intellect develop? So this is a major issue.
Okay.
In the system, the civil service. In fact, if you see the kind of corruption that you have within the civil service now, I forget about what you are saying, because somebody was telling me that which one came first. That you see the civil service that corrupts the political actors, or the political actors that corrupt the civil service. When you look at history of those days when we used to have the super permanent secretaries, and then you see that there's no professionalism again in the civil service.
Right.
And you said you guide an executive officer that this is what you are supposed to do. You are not supposed to do this one. What does he do? He will tell that, okay, post this man out of this place, and it's posted out, and labor will resume work the following day. Labor is not defending professionalism. Labor is not defending ethical practice in the service. What labor is always shouting about, is where is our pay? Where is this and that? Vacate the premises of. So that is a confused labor, and it's a symptom of hunger. Thank you.
Mr. Abibwait, in just about a minute, what kind of restructuring would you expect from this present administration?
Yes, it's restructuring that would help all our regions grow. I want this. I want us to have a fiscal regionalism, kind of, where all the regions will need to grow at their own pace. The federal government should not dictate most of things for all these regions. Let the state develop. And I want to urge and beg all our state governors they should please, because as it stands, they stand in a pivotal role. They are the one in the middle between the low class and the bigger ones. So they should help us enjoy dividends of democracy. Just like the president has said, he said, do not ask me for anything. Hold your governors responsible, because I have been paying them, so hold them. And now he has done something that I like. He has created a committee that will inspect or check whether or not the governors are using their money judiciously. So I just want to urge our governors to please give us democracy.
No, that is where the youth actually have a very serious job to do, and that is holding the governors accountable. And the governors should allow the voice for democracy. If people are not allowed to talk in a democracy, for example, what happened between the governor and the local government chairman? Okay, now the local government chairman has been impeached.
Yeah.
All this happened after he raised issue about the local government allocation. Okay, his impeachment is based on the financial misappropriation and all those things. Before he said that, before he asked for local government allocation, accountability, he had not committed any crime. Yeah? So you see, this marks of a kind of vindictive, reactionary, response, because if we continue in that manner, it will only kill the voices of others who may want to call governors to action, that we have observed so. But if I observe something and the next thing is that there will be an attack, instead of the governor listening to us and making correction or explaining, what has happened, even what we asked may not be correct, but it is your duty to explain to us.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much for your time, Ambassador Abibwait, a legal practitioner, and thank you, Mr. Adeyemi Akintunde, coming all the way from National Association of Seadogs, also known as Pirates Confraternity. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the information you've read out to us. We really, really do appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
And yes, as we still celebrate International Democracy Day today, we just want to let you know that this program was sponsored by the National Association of Seadogs, also known as Pirates Confraternity. Good morning.
One radio station stands out as the voice of the people. That station is Rock City FM 101.9. Connection is very important.